Jerry Jarrett told Jimmy Cornette when he first broke into business, and I was standing here. He said, Jimmy, if you can get enough heat with the fans as you do the boys, we're all going to make millions of dollars.
I want to talk about someone else now. I want to talk about the wrestling part of this person and the personal part. In the wrestling part, one of your most hated adversaries, what is the worst thing that Jim Cornette did to you, to the Rock and Roll Express, during your wrestling days?
The worst thing that he did to me, besides being an angle,
well, we're talking right now, we're going back to like the magazine days. So
okay, but I got you. I thought you was talking about in real life what he did bad.
Well, we're going to go to there too.
Yes, oh gosh, I've been. Let's see. Let me think here. I've been tarred and feathered. I've been hung.
This is all from Jim Cornette.
Actually hung. I've been hit with a tennis. I've been molested with a tennis racket for the last 40 years of my life.
Oh yeah, he has hit you in the back with the.
Oh yes. Bill, but there's so many that I can't. He dropped my throat on a tennis racket one time. Let's see, threw fire in my face.
Oh, I remember that. I was there. I got a picture of that.
But so, the list goes on and on.
Well, wait. So, in character, right now, if you had something you could say to Jim Cornette, where you're wrestling the Midnight Express, let's say tonight. And Cornette's going to be at ringside. Look in the camera. What would you tell him?
Jimmy Cornette, after all these years of the Rock and Roll Express versus the Midnight Express, you always try to say which one was the best express. But see, your express was only good when you got yourself involved. Now, after all these years, I've figured you out, and I know that you have a little bit of money. So what you need to do is after our match is to make sure you have AAA or a tow truck waiting around to pull my foot out your ass after we get through working tonight.
I love it. Okay, now let's go back to quote unquote real life. Jim Cornette has got this great podcast. I listen to it too, but he seems to knock everything and everybody most of the time. He's been very nice to me. So what's your take on the real Jim Cornette doing that stuff?
Well, to tell you the truth, our business is a work, Jim. How did Jimmy Cornette make all his money? Talking about people.
Yes,
always.
Right.
I'll never forget this, and I always understand this. Jerry Jarrett told Jimmy Cornette when he first broke into business, and I was standing here. He said, Jimmy, if you can get enough heat with the fans as you do the boys, we're all going to make millions of dollars. You see, that's never changed. Jimmy's on there. I guess, Bill, to my opinion, somebody asked me this before too, and I says, well, guys, Jimmy has a great podcast. A lot of people listening to it. So he must be doing something that the people want to hear. And when you get that kind of rate, you can't change. You can't be, Clark Kent and then the Joker. You got to be the Joker the whole time. You see what I'm saying?
Well, one more thing now about some of the things in the past here. Bobby Eaton helped start the School of Morton with you, and he was a very dear friend to me as well. Tell us about Bobby Eaton.
Well, Bobby was my best friend.
Yeah, I know.
And if you, like you said, Bill, you were friends with Bobby, and he was your best friend too. Yes. You never heard one person in this world ever say anything bad about Bobby Eaton. Bobby was great. He stayed at my school a lot. He helped train the guys. There's, whatever I could say nice about Bobby, that's not good enough. He was an icon in our business, one of the greatest workers to ever step in the ring and to put a match together so good. Bobby could get more heat by just doing nothing if you would just let him be him.
Yeah.
But nowadays, it's like I try to tell guys nowadays too, Bill. I'm on the road and I'm working with them, and and the people are chanting rock and roll, and the guy keeps trying to lock up with me, and I'm telling you, but just step back and listen to the people. You know, let them chant the rock and roll until we get out of it, because when I lock up with you, they're all going to go back down and sit back down in your seats.
That's right.
You know.
That's right. So we're talking about modern day now. One of the big things in modern day is, and we're talking about getting heat like Jim Cornette and Bobby Eaton. One of the biggest things going on right now is the feud, and this, you have a son, so
yes,
you really tune into this, is the feud between Rey Mysterio and his son, Dominic Mysterio. Now, your son, Kerry Morton, who I've interviewed several times, is like Dominic. He's sarcastic. He's short-tempered. He thinks he's worth your relationship. Let's talk about your relationship with Kerry Morton. You are one of the most gentle souls I have ever met. Your son is one of the most abrasive souls I've ever met. What are you two like personally? You know, what do you want to say about his attitude?
Oh, in real life, you know what, Bill, he's been with me ever since he's a little kid. You know, I mean, I raised him on the road. I raised him to be in this business, and the relationship between us is, you know, we're a father and son. I know where you're going to right here, because, you know, I'm a second generation, and my dad was in this business. And there was a time, many a times, that I thought I knew more than he did. But you see, I really said
which is that, where I think your son thinks he is right.
Okay, but now listen, this is what I'm saying to you, is I thought. Okay. But you know, my dad, you know, that's the worst ass whooping I ever got in my life, in real life, when I thought I'd try to challenge my dad. But we're in a business, Bill. I mean, our business is different than it was in my days. You know, it's the part about him being him. You know what? And sometimes I'm going to have to go with him a little bit, because our world is starving for another world champion that the people love to hate, but they love him more. And that's what I think's creating here, Bill. And I'm not.
So wait. So in the store, would you do what Dominic? Would you put up with what Dominic Mysterio did to Rey Mysterio in terms of pro wrestling?
Whoa. Wait. I just happened to be in the other room, and I heard this conversation. Bill, Apter, wait. Do you think for one moment that my dad would go out of his way to wrestle a world champion? I mean, listen, he's been a world champion, and he's had some accolades that speak for themselves. But Bill, Apter,
I wasn't talking. I
don't care if you're not talking to me. I'm going to interrupt anyways. I'm a world champion. I can do whatever the hell I want to, Bill, Apter. With that being said, though, listen, I would love to sit and talk with you, and I'd love for my dad to sit and talk with you. But I think we're done here. Like, listen, your chat's been fun.
Wait. Is it the
we
subject
enjoyed the
matter?
chat, but no, we don't have any business doing this anymore. Rock and roll. I'm sorry, I know it's your buddy and all, but Bill Apter, it's been good talking to you, buddy.
Wait a minute. You just
I can't hear you. What
you just going to cut me off?
What, Bill Apter? What did you say? I'm so sorry.
I want to know about if your dad.
What?
Unbelievable. Unfreaking believable. All right, let's cut this off. Unreal. Bill Apter reporting for Sportskeeda. What a sarcastic